You need to be a scientist if you want to grow. You really need to learn how to incorporate prior learning the way a scientist would. If you want your business to grow, take on the mindset of scientists and researchers. What they do is they look at what's been done before. They read all of the available research, all of what's gone on in their field in the past. They learn from the studies that others have done and the findings that others have uncovered. They incorporate all of that learning. They create from that a hypothesis, which is basically just a theory around, okay, this has happened in the past. This is my theory. If we tweak things this little way, this is what will happen in the future. Then they go about testing their hypothesis. From their research results, they'll discover whether or not their ideas hold water, or whether they need to change things further in order to reach the goals that they're trying the ends they're trying to make with their research. So if, as business owners, we don't take on a scientific mindset, we're doomed to not learn from our previous mistakes. We're doomed not to learn from the history of other businesses. It's quite simple, really, when you think about it. So I think about the research I did in the past. So I've done a PhD in psychology. That sounds pretty lofty. It was a lot of hard work. I remember right at the very beginning of my research, I did a lot of reading about the prior research that had been done in my field. So my field of study was around psychopaths. And I read everything I could find. And with the help of my supervisor, so in a business context, we talk about consulting a mentor. But with the help of my research supervisor, we designed a study to undertake to test a whole range of things to do with female personality characteristics and psychopathy. One day I said to her, but what if we don't find the thing we're wanting to find? What if our experiment fails? And she stared me in the eyes and she said, oh, Tess, do not be so unscientific. It was the biggest insult she could have laid at me. And what she meant was, it's not always about the results. It's about the discovery. It's about testing. It's about trying. So when we're in business and we're learning from what other business owners around us have learned, so our mentors or business owners and entrepreneurs that we admire, when we learn from what they've done in the past and we incorporate that learning into our own ideas for our own business, we have to test it out. We have to generate a hypothesis. We have to test out those theories. We have to try it and see what happens. And then, and this is the big thing, just like a scientist would, dispassionately have a look at the results. So don't get caught up in the emotions of failure. Don't get caught up in the emotions of criticism and self-doubt. If you've tried something and it didn't go the way you expected it to, pull back a little bit, just like a scientist would. And just in the words of my former supervisor, don't be so unscientific. What she was getting at was, we pull back. We look at the results. We evaluate the results against what others have done in the past to contextualize that so-called failure and to make sense of it. Then we can make a sensible plan for what we're going to try to do next. So when you're designing your business plan, when you're putting together your business goals, allow some room in there for you to be able to test things out and see what happens. So it might be that you've never done a Facebook ad before. Don't spend $1,000 on your first ever Facebook ad. Talk to some people who've done Facebook ads before and see what they found. Incorporate that knowledge into your planning around your Facebook marketing. And then try it. See what happens if you spend $20. See what results you get. Incorporate that knowledge into your next plan and go from there. So try not to be caught up in that emotion of failure and that fear of trying. Be a scientist. Pull back. Look at the evidence around you. Look at what's gone on before you. Incorporate that into your hypothesis making. Test your hypothesis. Incorporate what you've learnt and go from there. Have a great day. Bye.